It's Saturday, June 21st, 2025. Again, so much is happening. I pray for this country. I hope every one of you is taking a little time out of your evening or your day and praying for this country. War could be coming. I pray that peace prevails, but we don't know what is going to happen. I want to talk about what is happening in the Middle East. I also want to talk about what's happening in the U.S. economy. So we have a lot to talk about today. So stay tuned. Watch the entirety of this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We've never seen anything like this in recorded history. Jim Rickards on the coming financial storm. Today's economic troubles, he says, are not over by a long shot. In fact, I believe they're just getting started. He says too many people think that the worst has passed, but the warning signs have not faded. It's going to get a lot worse, and people should prepare for that. Ask yourself today, what are you doing to prepare for a depression, for an economic collapse, for a grid going down, for some type of assault on American soil? What are you doing to prepare? Hope is a really, really bad strategy, ladies and gentlemen. You owe it at least to your kids to make sure that they're safe, that you can protect them, feed them, take care of them. Wall Street says it's all good, and people believe it. They shouldn't. I know people watch the television all day. They watch the financial channels. They believe their politicians. They believe everything is going to be okay. I'm here to tell you it may not be okay. Don't be complacent. Crisis, Jim Rickards says, starts small and quietly grows into something bigger. Right now, he's saying that we're going to see bonds underwater, risk of bank runs, rising interest rates, stagflation, you name it. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen, and the signs, the writing is on the wall. Don't take this lightly. There are people that were laughing a year or two ago. They're no longer laughing. People now, for the most part, I think, are beginning to get very, very worried because they thought things were going to turn around by now, that the new administration was going to come in, wave a magic wand, and everything was going to be okay. I don't think this administration realized just how bad things were. And they're going to get much worse. Here's one from the Hedge today. Housing market number 2. It says here, basic logic. All credit asset bubbles burst. U.S. housing is a credit asset bubble. The U.S. housing bubble will burst because why? All asset bubbles burst. If you look at what's happening now compared to the last housing crisis, look at, we don't have 0% interest rates. We ran a Fed funds rate near zero for over a decade. That is over. We're not going to see mortgage rates below 3% anytime soon, probably not in our lifetime. The Fed has bought $1.6 trillion of mortgage-backed securities. I mean, you think nothing bad's going to happen? Short-term rentals, the Airbnb, VRBO market is beginning to really lose steam. A lot of corporate investment money went into this market, and now they're getting out. The small mom and poppers, they're probably not going to get out. They're going to be upside down. I know a few personally that are really, really struggling right now, and they just can't get out. So these people are going to be finished. The big boys, the corporate owned properties, they're getting out. They're going to probably continue to get out because they see the writing on the wall. They're going to get out before everybody else does. When the average investor, the mom and popper, finally figures out what's going on, there'll be no exit to run to. MSM, laid off government workers are flooding a shrinking job market. 59,000 government workers have lost their jobs since January. An additional 75,000 took buyouts. They're all going to be competing against you. You will be competing against AI, robotics, and people from all over the world. So as the job market continues to shrink, and you have millions and millions of people who've come over here the last 4 years, and you have AI and robotics, and you have government workers losing their jobs, seems like daily at this point, it's going to be a big problem. If you have a job right now, you may not like it. I would advise keep that job as long as you can. If you like your job, keep that job as long as you can. I think, people think, well, I could leave this job and maybe I can get a better job. Be very, very careful right now. Be very, very careful. If you've been somewhere for a while, I would advise to stay there at least for the next 12 to 18 months to see how this plays out. We're going to see people. I remember people saying that I would never do this. This is way below me. I would never do this for a job. We're seeing more and more people doing things now that they never thought that they would. We're seeing people work 3, even 4 jobs. How many people thought they'd be working 3 jobs just to get by? Well, they're doing it right now. Why? Because they have to. When people get hungry, they're going to do what they have to do. And as inflation continues to ravage out of control, even though we're being told that it isn't, you all know it is, because you pay your utilities, you go to the grocery store, you pay your insurance. We all know that inflation isn't going down. It continues to go up. Services continue to go up. So how many jobs can somebody work? I mean, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many jobs one human being can work. And most people now are working in leisure and hospitality. They're driving Ubers, they're driving Lyfts, they're working at resorts, they're working at coffee shops, they're working at fast food. They're working 2, 3, and even 4 jobs just to get by. None of these people are getting rich. They're just paying their bills and hoping that they don't lose one of their jobs. If they lose, think about this. You have 3 jobs. If you lose one of those jobs, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Letter urges Transportation Secretary Duffy to ban foreign CDLs amid series of highway crashes. Non-domicile CDLs should be banned in America. Public safety is the priority. It should be the priority. And right now it is a nightmare. You have unvetted citizens from all over the world driving vehicles in this country that weigh 80,000 pounds that don't even know how to read English. Do you think that this is a good idea? This is not political, but do you really want to be driving down a highway with somebody that can't even read English, who is unvetted, driving a vehicle that weighs 80,000 pounds? Do you really want your kids and your family on these roads with people who really should not be driving on these roads with enormous vehicles? Again, that's not political. This is just common sense. Just common sense. And when I make these videos and I take 15, 20 minutes out of the day, I do everything I can to really avoid being political. I'm just trying to be as moral as I can be and just use as much common sense as I can be. And people want to make that political. It is far from political. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I really don't. I just want people to be safe. I want people to be able to work. I want people to just lead a good life, pay their bills, and enjoy their families. And it's not political whatsoever. But if you make this political, then there's something wrong with you. I really don't want to be on the road. I don't want my family or friends on the road with people unvetted that can't even read English, driving 80,000-pound vehicles. That makes no sense whatsoever. B-2 bombers moving to Guam amid Middle East tensions, U.S. officials say. So things could be escalating. Right now, I guess we have a pause for 2 weeks. I pray to God we do not get pulled into this mess. Again, I've said many times, I don't know exactly where I stand with all this, but we have seen from history. The first Iraqi war was a Desert Storm. Then the second one, these things cost trillions of dollars, cost millions of lives, American lives. What did we gain from all this? Absolutely nothing. Corporations got wealthy, politicians got wealthy. So I'm not saying that this is the same thing, but it could be. I don't know. I'm staying a little bit neutral right now, but what we do know is B-2 bombers are moving to Guam, getting prepped for something. These can carry these 30,000-pound bombs that they want to detonate over this apparent nuclear facility, this alleged nuclear facility. Now, people could say, who cares about all this? It's doom and gloom. I don't care. We'll drop a couple bombs. That'll be it. We don't know exactly how this is going to work out. First off, you drop bombs on this and there are nuclear weapons underground or the capability, what's going to happen to the uranium? Does somebody go in and clean it up? Which I would imagine you have to. You've got to go in and clean up the uranium. Is there going to be any type of radioactivity put into the atmosphere? There's a lot of things that could go wrong here. And what if they already have the bomb or bombs? And I want to say this too. You still have Russia and China doing business with Iran. China buying a lot of oil there. What if these countries got involved? It's a possibility. We keep hearing about more and more about World War III. What if these countries got involved? People won't be laughing because they're going to get drafted. If you're a young person, you could be drafted into this. If you're an older person, you have kids, your kids could be drafted into this mess. What are your thoughts on that? Comment down below. If you're a young male, how would you feel about getting drafted and having to go over there and fight? If you're a parent, how would you feel if your kids, your boys, got drafted into this mess? Because this now has caused World War III. And I think this administration knows that there are going to be possible massive repercussions here, that this could open a dimension of things that we don't want any part of. You could definitely let the genie out of the bottle here, and it's not going to go back in. So again, we have the threat of radioactivity, nuclear fallout, World War III, and remember, you could be drafted. So again, as I was saying, they could already potentially have the bomb, and maybe that's why we're standing back a little bit. But if they do, and you push them into a corner, how do you think they're going to react? This is another potential catastrophe that they feel threatened, and now they have nuclear capability, and they start using that capability on us. And we know that there's some very, very bad people here in this country right now. Also, there was a 5.2 magnitude earthquake just recently over in Iran. And is that a natural earthquake? Because they do have earthquakes over there. Or was it some type of earthquake weapon developed by the United States? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. U.S. ramps up surveillance amid fears of Iran-backed sleeper cells. This on The Hedge today. There are no doubt 100% positivity. There are Iran-backed operatives, sleeper cells in the United States right now. Potentially, these people could do severe harm to our grid, to people, maybe military bases. We have to be aware of this. And you need to be aware that over the last 4 years, people came right over here from all parts of the world, and there were some very, very bad people that came over those borders. And now we may actually see who they are, why they're here, and what their intentions are. And I hope that does not happen. The real national security, endless wars, failing infrastructure, and a dying republic. This also on The Hedge today. And if you get a few minutes, read these articles, ladies and gentlemen. Take a couple minutes, do your due diligence. Don't listen to me. Read this stuff. Draw your own conclusion to what is happening. One of the reasons that this country is so broke, why millions of people are broke in this country, is because we continue as a country funding this global empire. And in order to fund this global empire, you know, the military bases, the wars, all that, in order to do this, you need to pay lots of taxes. This is where a lot of your tax money is going, funding these bases, these wars. And it's not about defense. It's about the empire, maintaining the empire, policing the globe, occupying countries, and waging endless wars. Comment down below. You agree with this? Am I completely wrong here? Is the article completely wrong? I agree 100% with it. Imagine if we weren't building military bases, invading countries, these global wars. Imagine how much money we would have saved if we didn't go to Iraq the last time. And again, I don't want to get too deep into this whole Iran thing right now with Iran and Israel. I'm kind of neutral right now. I don't really know enough, and I don't believe everything I'm hearing. So I just think we need to take things extremely slow. Maybe we do have to go in there and blow this nuclear facility up. don't know. Do we really know if they have something or they don't have something? I don't know. Now, we're kind of in the dark. But we do know that there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. In Iraq, the last time we invaded, it cost a lot of money and a lot of lives. And again, corporations made money, politicians made money, we lost money. You lost money, I lost money because it was your tax dollars that funded all this, and we got absolutely nothing out of it. We are no safer now than we were after the last war. Afghanistan, another one. What did that cost us? We left, about $90 billion of military equipment there. We spent, 20 years? How many trillions of dollars? How many lives? What did we all get? Did it make your life better? Again, no wonder that we are so broke. Our infrastructure falling apart, roads falling apart, garbage everywhere, graffiti, the airports, we're still running 1980s and 90s technology at the airports. And yet we continue to just want to maintain this empire when the empire is crumbling right here within. The empire is crumbling right here. We can't even get streetlights to turn on in our major cities. The roads are a disaster. We can't help small business innovate or to grow. We can't get people real jobs, but we can, wage war and build military bases. Comment down below. Pelosi raked in millions last year and her portfolio. New York Post. So Nancy and Paul, they are estimated to possibly be worth $413 million. Who says politics does not pay? In 2023, they were valued to be worth about $370 million, now $413. Do you think it's okay for these politicians who get, no doubt, insider information to be in the market trading? I think this should not be allowed. They have way too much insider information. And this is why these people will want these jobs and spend millions of dollars to get a job that pays $150,000, $175,000 a year in Congress. And yet they'll spend tens of millions of dollars to get this job. And then, they're worth $400 million. It's unbelievable what is going on. And people just, got to go watch a baseball game today. Got to go watch a basketball game today. I don't have time to think about this war. I don't have time to think about all this insider trading. Doesn't affect me one bit. Again, this stuff does affect you. You're paying for it with your tax dollars, and you may actually go to war and have to fight. You may actually have to pick up a weapon and be flown over to the Middle East and have to fight for this. So you better start caring about what's happening to your country, because you're already paying for it with all of your dollars, your tax dollars. And soon, if they open up release this genie out of the bottle, they open up this bottle, you could be sucked into a massive world war, World War III. And you will go, and you will have to go fight, and you may not come back. So they're going to tell you to be over in a matter of days, a week, 2 weeks, that's it. They always say that, right? And then it's years. And then it's more lives, and it's more money. But corporations make more, politicians make more, and innocent people on all sides lose. And the taxpayer loses. So let me know your thoughts on this Iran situation. Do you believe we should be going over there? I would say right now the consensus from what I'm reading is no. But that could change. Maybe something will change our mind and we get behind this and we do believe we should be over there. Right now, I'm sitting back. I'm glad the administration is sitting back, but things are happening. We may get sucked into this thing. So there's nothing we can do about that, but be prepared for the recourse, the blowback that could happen right here on U.S. soil. Be prepared for that. Things could get dicey. God bless every one of you. Please take a moment and pray for this country. Pray for this administration. Pray for the people in the Middle East. Pray for the people in Eastern Europe. We need peace in the world, not these wars. And after that, all we can do is leave it in God's hands and take care of our own house. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Be careful out there.